Well, then in 2010, you put out the album Smart. And that's I really like that album a lot. And the Smart title for that, was that because of Smart Studios? Or was it just a title you liked?
I think so.
Yeah.
How'd that come
Yeah,
about?
maybe a little metaphoric, but
Tongue in cheek.
but really just a nod. We were, I think, one of the last bands that got to go in there. I mean, there were boxes full of stuff upstairs. They were in the process of moving and packing things up, sadly, but we were finishing up our tracking in our individual studios at home, and we kept checking, are you going to be open for a little while longer?
Yeah, the news releases were
couple
out that
weeks.
they were closing.
Right.
And
So then Mike Zirkle mixed it through all their wonderful analog equipment down at Smart. So yeah, it was kind of a nod to the studio as they were going out.
There's a track on there called Really Happy that I really like.
Oh.
Like as far as it's a great track, and like it was writing a track like that. It did sound different from the earlier releases. It sort of had more of a distorted sound, I guess. You were still it had the jangly, but not as much as like Main Street and
Yeah, I think when we spanned that long of a period of time, and music changed during that time, and so I think we evolved a little bit in what we liked, what was going on around us. I think a big departure was Northern Distortion. We had 24 tracks to work with, and we just loved doing overdubs and being able to put things in. It was kind of like our Abbey Road with a lot of things that we could play with, and we had a lot of time in the studio there. Spent a lot of time recording that one. So it was different, quite different. But then Smart, we were sort of back to our own Pro Tools devices, and a little bit more limited. So I think that one harkened back a little more to Main Street, that record. Maybe with the exception of the one you mentioned.
So was that what was different about that song compared to
Really Happy?
Yeah.
We played that one live quite a bit, and it just kind of got a goofy reaction, kind of a fun reaction, and it was always fun to play and sing. So we kept it on the record, but maybe a little more rock and roll.
Yeah.
Working from home too, especially with drums. When you're in the studio, you got to put the drums, and what you do right now is going to be the drum track for the whole album, and so that's where it starts. And so there's a lot of pressure to get a take done in an hour or 2 takes, whatever. At home, you can kind of just do it when you feel like it. You can do 10 takes. It's not costing you anything, so it's more relaxed. I think that's what I liked about Smart, is just being able to take my time on drums, and then I'd take the files and I'd put them up on Dropbox or whatever we used at the time, and send it out to the band.
Right.
Dan would start working on bass. He'd have the drums, and it was just a great way to layer things, and we just kept everything at Rick's house, so that was the master Pro Tools, and so everything ended up at Rick's, and so we could just work on things and get it the way we liked it.